Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Elevated Marketing Podcast, where we simplify complicated digital marketing topics to make your business grow. Today, we are going to talk about marketing insights for 2024 and basically do the thing that a lot of people do is kind of look forward and this is what's going to happen in 2024. Although this is a big, giant guess. I know certainly this past year, there has been a lot of change in marketing, and I'm expecting the same thing in 2024.
As always, yes.
All right. So today, before we get started, let's do our fun and quirky question. And today's question is, do you make your bed?
Every morning. I've always
Somehow I knew that was going to be the answer, but I had to ask.
I even when I was, like, super young and obviously living at home with my parents, like, the first thing I would do was make my bed. Like, I've just ingrained it in my brain, like, I'm gonna set myself up for a productive day if I get up and make my bed.
Did your parents make you make your bed when you were little?
No, they didn't actually, no, they
Your
didn't.
type A personality, you were like,
Yeah.
"I'm making my bed."
Yep, and it still astanishes my mom every time because 'cause she'll randomly ask, "Brenna, is your bed made?" I'll say, "You know it is." She's like, "Of course it is."
Well, I'm gonna be on the other side. I can't even tell you the last time I made my bed. And it's nothing to do with, like, I guess not, wanting a made bed. It's just, like, more of a, "Meh, it's fine."
Mhm. Yeah.
So I never make my bed. I do make it downstairs. We have a guest bedroom, and we make that bed after,
Mhm.
like, we've had guests stay the night, but our own bed, no, it never gets made. Alright, well, let's talk about, 2024. First of all, I feel like this year, was very chaotic. There were a lot of things that kind of, took off. You certainly had AI, that has changed a lot of things.
Mhm.
Yeah,
G4? I mean,
G4. G4 was another big thing. So, how to track things. Another big thing was Apple kinda, dropping off, tracking capabilities, and so I think, it got messier to
yeah.
be able to track things. I think we can all kind of agree to that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But looking forward into 2024, what are you kind of predicting will continue on, and where do you think you're going to see a shakeup at?
Yeah, I think definitely I mean, AI has been around for a while, but it's really hit the market and it's, in my mind, kind of just getting started. Like, there's already so much that's been fleshed out and developed from AI, but I think even taking that onto, like, social media platforms, um, I even forgot to mention this to you, on TikTok now, they've got, like, AI generated at the bottom, so if it's coming from AI, it's telling you that it's from AI. So I think we're gonna see a lot more of that, especially over on social media platforms.
Yeah, like that's the thing is some of these social media platforms. I knew that was possibly coming, where TikTok was going to require that if it was made by AI, you need to basically, let people know. But when it comes to content, I think, there was a shakeup on whether or not people could tell or not tell if content was written by AI. And the reality is, as long as you have good editing going on, most people cannot tell if it was
Mhm.
written by AI or if it wasn't.
Yeah, yeah, and well, and if you look at Google and, what Google is suggesting to those producing a lot of content for their website,
Yeah.
they've got these guidelines and AI is written in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I think, with SEO, we're gonna continue to see a shakeup there.
Mhm.
I'm predicting that you're gonna see less traffic coming from organic search, and you're going to see more people going to social media. And so I see this flip of where people are getting their information from social media versus from going to someone's website, organic searches. I mean, I
Yeah.
think there certainly will be organic searches, but with so many people using ChatGPT or the chats that are directly inside of a lot of these platforms, I think we're going to see a lot of reduction in traffic overall to websites.
Yeah, well, and even the search engines in these social media platforms, they've become pretty intuitive. I find myself sometimes searching on there as a search engine because I want to hear from people. I want like that one-on-one face content
Yep.
of these people, basically explaining their experience with something or, what have you.
Well, I mean, it hasn't happened quite yet, but I think you're going to see what you see in like ChatGPT, but be built right into the platform. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that Snapchat is already that way.
They are,
Um,
yes.
yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, they're pretty good.
Yeah, it's one of those they're Snapchat is smart by doing this. They're keeping that AI bot pinned to the top of everyone's chat, and they're
Mhm.
doing that because they want people to click on it and they want, the natural learning processing. They want their chat bot to start learning,
Yeah.
and so Snapchat is smart for doing that, but it's gotten pretty good.
I don't think, we're probably too far off from seeing that kind of feature in Facebook because it will
Mhm.
keep people on the platform more, which
Yeah.
is why I also think we're going to see less traffic to websites as people are really into short form video. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't already have a strong strategy for building reels and TikToks and short form video, I feel like you're behind.
Definitely. I mean, even with short form video, like that is appearing in, say, Google search results too. So like there are many different areas that you're losing coverage if you aren't investing your time with short form video.
Yeah, yeah, it's just the reach is much better there.
Yeah.
We mentioned it earlier as far as tracking, getting really messy in 2023. I don't That's not gonna go away.
Mhm.
In fact, I think it's just gonna continually get a little bit messier to be able to tell which marketing channel is working and which is not. And so I highly recommend having KPIs for each different channel to know that it is or is not working.
Yeah, and it kinda goes without saying too, it's like, because it's going to be so difficult to track, and it is now sometimes, like, you never wanna put all your eggs in one basket. I know it probably seems like, "Oh, of course we know that," but, when you think of all these platforms and all this content that you could be producing and then, repurposing, like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And I mean, I also, the question comes to beg, TikTok came out what 2 years ago. I think, currently Facebook is trying to get Threads off the ground. I think Threads is probably going to die.
Mm,
I think there's just too many social media platforms out there, and nobody wants to start another social media channel to be on. Like,
yeah,
I kind of predicting that we'll probably have the same social media channels throughout the year, but who knows? Somebody might attempt to try to come in.
yeah.
I feel like X is going to continually lose people as the year goes on in 2024.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I mean, if you think about it too, like generational, like, perhaps the younger generations will be heavily involved in these newer platforms, but, those who have been on Facebook for since 2004, like they're probably not going to explore other platforms. They're comfortable where they are.
Yeah. I think there definitely is, though, a burnout where, at first when TikTok came out, people were creating all of these videos and kind of expecting this like I'm gonna make it big on
Yeah,
TikTok,
yeah,
and you're seeing that die off where, you know, not saying that you shouldn't do it, but you're this get rich, get quick scheme, that was out there and influencer, and it's a lot harder than it looks.
yeah. Can we leave that in 2023? Like, let's not take the get rich quick into 2024.
Well, I think there are a lot of people that are looking for ways, to benefit off of online, and
Yeah,
I think we're getting down to the people that really know what they're doing.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think honestly, like the COVID period of people from, going from working in an office every day to working from home, it's kind of created this environment where, all these people they only want to work from home. And so I think sometimes these get rich quick, they're
yeah.
always online, is kind of the driver for people because they just want to work from home.
Yeah, and a lot of companies have, gone back to the office at least a
Mhm.
couple days a week.
Yeah.
We will never go back. We never were. But, I think you're going to see less and less jobs available that work from home because
Mhm.
unfortunately, productivity has dropped for a lot of people.
Yeah,
So
it has.
not everybody can work from home.
No, and I mean, it's pretty saturated too when you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're seeing a lot less out there, so, um, you know, I I think that it's just gonna be another year that you just have to be willing to constantly adjust your marketing strategy,
Mhm.
and I don't think you can sit here and come up with your entire 2024, like, what it's gonna look like.
Yeah.
You have to continue to do what works until, it doesn't work anymore, and I think the name of that game is really gonna be about, can you attract an audience that is willing to listen, learn, and want to work with you? If you can't do that, then I think it's gonna be a tough ride. There's no quick shortcuts anymore. It's
Yeah.
only the good are gonna be left.
Yeah. Well, and if you think about it too from, like, a competitor stance, I mean, your competitors probably aren't going to carry the same strategy that they have in January 2024 through December of 2024, and so, I don't know, like, I know for me, competitor research with, like, content, like, that's a big thing for me. I rely on that a lot because, we wanna stay up to date and stay competitive,
Yeah.
and yeah.
I think the best strategy is to stick to the basics of marketing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and stop looking for the latest flavor of the month, because if you're constantly chasing the latest flavor, the latest tactic, or the latest, you're not really building a brand. You're not building, content that's going to last long term. You're just looking for the quick wins. And
Yeah.
I think that time period of the quick wins is over.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of things it is a long-term game, and, your strategy has to be pretty well developed to get the results you're looking for, and there's not just gonna be one little switch you can tick on and all your problems are solved.
All right. Well, anything else you can think of for 2024 with your crystal ball?
I think have an open mind to new things that do come, but as Jennifer just said, like, don't jump on it so quickly that you lose sight of everything else you've been working hard to achieve. You know, Stay open to it, but also don't have tunnel vision.
There you go. All right. Well, that wraps it up for now for this topic. Thanks for tuning in to the Elevated Marketing podcast. Our aim is to help you navigate the crazy world of digital marketing with ease. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to rate and review our show or on your preferred platform. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners like you. Take care.